Welcome to Catholic Views. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. On today's show, we will have Allison Konomak in the studio with us. She's going to be talking about mercy and forgiveness for this Divine Mercy Sunday. It's a really, really great conversation. I hope you'll stick around for it. First, we have, Dr. Chris Bergwald looked at me like, what? We have some biblical bites with Dr. B.
I was just waiting for you to finish.
He's waiting, but he looked very excited about being able to speak. It's like, woo.
Never happened.
You're right.
I'm always waiting for the introduction.
You poor thing.
What's today, Renee?
Well, it's Divine Mercy
Okay,
Sunday.
I was like, you just said it, so
Which
I hope.
is the second Sunday of Easter.
Also, excellent.
Yes.
Well done.
Because it is both, right?
It is both.
Yes.
It is both. So, of course, in the Easter season, the first reading always comes from Elise.
Wait, what? No, the Old Testament. Like, what did you just say?
The first reading in the Easter season.
Oh, Easter season. You didn't finish your question.
Yes, I
did. You just
did.
listened.
I
You
really
just weren't
wasn't.
listening.
Okay.
I spaced out on your face. Sorry.
I understand.
John? What? Yeah?
No.
No?
Acts.
Acts
what?
of the Apostles.
Yep.
I was working on the scripture series, too.
Oh, she should know.
You.
It's because never mind.
That. No more excuses.
Happy Easter, Elise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the first reading at Mass, Sunday Mass.
Oh, did you do something wrong?
No, I'm
Oh.
not curious. I'm just flipping through my Magnificat.
Oh, well, there was dead air there.
There was
so-
dead air. I know
yes.
there was. I'm wondering if that's true for every weekday Mass, too. I don't
Oh, if it's Acts? It would kind of make sense just because you're going through the whole between the resurrection and the ascension.
Yeah. So
And
just the
Pentecost.
3 or 4 that I've checked here in April, they're all from
Sure.
Acts. Sunday for sure.
That's what confused me.
Oh, yeah, that's prob.
Sure.
Totally. And 2 minutes later, I love this Sunday's reading from Acts, though. They devoted themselves to the teaching of the apostles and to the communal life, to the breaking of bread and to the prayers. Awe came upon everyone, and many wonders and signs were done through the apostles. So it goes on from there, and if we get there, great. But just those couple of opening sentences. This is from Acts chapter 2, verses 42 and 43. They devoted themselves to the teaching of the apostles and to the communal life, to the breaking of bread and to the prayers. Awe came upon everyone, and many wonders and signs were done through the apostles. So this is right after. This is shortly after Pentecost.
Oh, okay.
So the first massive wave of thousands of Jews convert, for lack of a better word, accept Jesus as the Messiah,
Sure.
and embrace his teachings. The reason I do that, by the way, just real quick, Jews who go from practicing Judaism to practicing Catholicism or any form of Christianity, but I know especially those who become Catholic Jews, really challenge the idea that they're converts.
I would totally agree with that.
Why do you say that?
I think they're actually just following the
Yes.
progression that their faith was
and that's
takes.
exactly what they
Yeah.
would say. So
Yeah.
that's why I was. So as these Jews became Christians,
Right.
So the thousands of them have done. So now this is those couple of verses. They devoted themselves to the teaching of the apostles. So what Jesus revealed about himself as the Messiah, and in fact as God, as the fullness of the plan that God has been working for all of history, but especially in those last couple thousand years since Abram came on the scene and so on. So these new Christians, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching. Do you and I do that? Are we devoted?
Probably not as much as we should.
Right. Even more, the second one, to the communal life.
Oh, definitely not.
When we talk about what our communities are, for most of us, our parish is probably not, or soon to be our pastorate in our diocese, it's probably not at the top of the list.
Our community is barely at the top of our list.
Right, communities, period, let alone
Right,
church community.
right.
Exactly. But these are first Christians, the early Christians, they devoted themselves to the communal life, To the breaking of bread, that's the life of the sacraments. They're devoted to participating in the sacramental life of the church and to their prayers. So this fourfold delineation, it has become sort of a traditional way to talk about what it means to be a disciple.
Right.
It maps to the 4 parts of the catechism, for example.
Oh.
The teaching of the apostles, the first part on the creed, the breaking of bread to the second part on the liturgy and the sacraments, communal life, living life together, our moral life, and then finally prayer.
Right.
The fourth part is on
Right.
prayer.
Yeah.
Then the second sentence, awe came upon everyone, and many wonders and signs were done through the apostles. Am I at awe because of my Catholic faith? Are other people, even more pointedly, are other people in awe because of my Catholic faith?
Well, some of them are.
But
My mom speaks glowingly of you.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're called, we should be shining and burning bright.
Right.
As missionary disciples of
It should be set ablaze.
Right.
Yes.
And even more pointedly, this is the question for Bishop de Groot. Signs were done through the apostles, Bishop. You are a successor of the apostles, Bishop. So, but miracles, signs and wonders, they do happen in our church today. Are we aware of them as much? Maybe not, but the Lord still works.
Yeah, we could do a little better job. Thanks, Dr. B.
You bet.